So I went car shopping today, and well, yeah. So I went car shopping, and I've been looking for a project truck. The '84 Chevy I was looking at, it it sold before I could get to it. The '69 down in Wellington, that sold before I looked at it, and the other '69 was still there. Now we're going to go over the ad. I'm going to show you a few things to look out for. And truthfully, if a salesman ever acts the way this guy did, I don't care how good of a deal it is. You just walk away and don't let him talk. Because this guy he was on the route of getting really nasty, and I just cut him off at the knees. Now, I'll tell you right from the get-go, unless you can actually go out there and put hands on this thing, don't even bother with it. Or if you got somebody who can go out there and look at it, the scams are real out here. There's a lot of scams out here. If you think it might be a scam, screenshot the picture, run it through Google Lens or whatever like that, and make sure that it doesn't pop up anywhere else on social media. The scams are real. So, a little food for thought. Also, when you start looking at it, look at when it was posted, how long it's been there. Ideally, if something is there for more than, like one of these trucks especially, and if you're familiar with it, you'll know the market. If that truck has been there for more than, like this was here for a month, there's a problem. And I kind of figured that out, but I thought I owed it to myself to go up and look at it, at least go look at it. Guy wants $3,500 for it. Now, for a running, driving 69 C20, we're right on the edge. If the bones are good, absolutely. Which I was telling the guy today, I said what I find amazing is, for what they're wanting for one of these trucks, I had five square body Chevys, and I don't think I had, good grief, I don't think I had 1,200 in all five of them. So, yeah, you got that. But, anyhow, so you're going over the pictures, you look, location, look at who's selling it, see what other listings they have. Do your homework on the person. If it's a brand new profile with no friends or anything like that, it's probably a scam. So let's go over this ad, and then I'll show you what I found. There's the one I'm looking at right there. That's another one. It's a 78. But more about that one later. Let's get back to the 69. When you first look at it, it doesn't look bad, but you notice that it's kind of caved in around the front. That means somebody's used a crowbar to get the hood open. Now, this is Marketplace, so the ad was somewhat condescending. But then as you get looking at it, you notice some irregularities, like the front wheels versus the back wheels. And that's just not even. The tailgate had rust holes all the way through it, and the bed was horrible. I thought that was a fuel door. No, that was just a piece of metal that was pop ribbeted on. So, yeah. So we're home now, but when I got looking at it, I thought the fuel tanks were on. It looks like in the pictures that there's dual tanks. There are not. That's a piece of metal that somebody pop riveted on the driver's side. And on the passenger side, it's just a door with nothing under it. So where's the fuel tank? It's that open hole behind the seat. So that thing's been open for as long as, that truck's been sitting. And that was another thing. So I crawled under it, and the underside of that truck looks like the Titanic. It is bad. Not as bad as my fridge. We'll just we'll just close that. So yeah, it was pretty bad under there. So somebody put a later model rear end underneath a C20. I don't have a problem with that. I got a rear end under that trailer. But then I got looking in the bed, and the bed is literally just rusting all along every support bracket in there. This thing sat in a field and things lived in it. So the rockers and the cab corners are literally completely gone, and as bad as those are gone, I'm figuring the floors are completely just hashed too. Now, for $3,500, I figured it would start. Now, I'll get to that here in a minute. When you get looking at it, it's got that thin film of stuff all over it. And if you guys have been in the Midwest, if your car's sit around for a year or two, you get that real hard dirt over it that you pretty much almost have to do a Comet wash to get rid of. I mean, it's really hard to get rid of. They didn't even bother removing that. So I could tell that thing had sat around a couple of years. So I pop the hood and look in. It's a 350 with a shot radiator. The radiator, you could see where it leaked all down the side. And so the radiator was bad. Had a set of headers. But then I got noticing something else. One of the spark plugs was out of it, hooked to a spark plug wire. They got these orange cream Coke Zeros. I just really like them for some reason. So yeah, it was plugged to a spark plug wire, which tells me, but they had a later model HEI unit in it, which means the guy either totally bunged up putting an HEI unit in, which I'd like to say it's idiot proof, but every time they say something's idiot proof, they build a better idiot. And then it's either that or they were trying to find top dead center, which from the looks of it, it probably could have been both. So I knew that engine hadn't been run in a long time, which means the fuel system's shot. I mean, the whole truck was just shot. So I'm not even wanting to talk to the salesman. And I just decided, I look at red and I was like, let's just get out of here. It's like, there's nothing to see here. This truck is beat. And so we jump in the car and we start heading out, and the salesman stops us. So we pull up and he's like, well, what are you looking at? Can I help you with? I was like, no, we were just checking out the pickup truck. I was like, well, what do you think? I said, I think your asking price is overly optimistic. He looks at back and he says, well, I appreciate your opinion. He got really condescending, and he only got this far. I appreciate your opinion. And I just cut him off at the knees right there. I said, dude, there's nothing left of it. I said, you got a half-ton rear end. I said, you got a 1-ton front end. I said, every panel is rusted. That truck hasn't run in, I'll guarantee that truck hasn't run in 2 years. I said, I know it's sitting in a field. I said, the fuel tank has been open to all the elements. I said, it's junk. I said, it's junk. And I just gave him about 8 or 9 things, and I just hammered it back to him. And I was like, yeah, so good luck. We just rolled up the window and rolled out. I'm not going to sit there and argue with a man. If he thinks he can get that kind of money, and what's sad is he's going to find some sucker who will pay him for it too. And I hope not. This is like somebody's auto shop project that they got a D on. It is terrible. And, I got another rear end. I got another bed. But the cab corners are shot. In fact, you can see where the bed had been shoved into the back of the cab. So that tells me something else is broken under there. It's just the more you looked at it, the worse it got. The pictures are very deceptive. So this is one of the reasons you got to get out and look. I mean, it was awful. $3,500 for that. That's just highway robbery. And part of the problem is too many guys like this, they overbought it thinking it was worth something, and then they realize they got screwed, but they're acting like everybody still got COVID money. That COVID money's gone. And prices are starting to drop. Sellers, it's not a buyer's market right now. Sellers are, I mean, the prices are dropping like crazy. And so things are actually kind of, as dumb as it sounds, kind of coming back to a little bit of normalcy there. But yeah, it was, I, so what about the other truck? Well, the other truck is a different story. The other truck is a 1978. What am I looking for here? I'm looking for something. I just don't remember what it is. Uh, U2 had a song about that. Anyhow, it's a 1978. It doesn't have a speck of rust on it. Might have a little bit of surface rust on the front. You know how it goes, but no rust holes, no punctures. Everything is golden on it. I'm going to go back and look at it tomorrow. Some guy bought it to redo it. It sat for about 20 years and the engine's locked up. Excuse me. Yeah, so I mean, you got that going for it. But he wants $3,000 for it. It's a lot of money for a square body. But here's the thing. If the body is truly as good as he says it is, if I can get that thing unlocked and to fire up, we're talking 55 to 6. So the 3,000 is a real gamble. I'll probably have to redo the fuel system for sure. But the truck sat inside. I know the truck sat inside. No truck sits outside and looks that good over 20 years. So I'm going to go back tomorrow and look at it again. But I'm thinking about taking that Charger money and flipping it on that and see what I can do there, because truthfully, the challenge kind of excites me. There's a YouTube channel I like watching. No, not Vice Grip Garage. I really do enjoy that one. There's one called Jennings Motorsports. And this guy will find old things like old Model Ts, Model A's, old Cadillacs, old fire trucks, things from the teens and 20s, and all that have been sitting for 75, 80 years, and I'll be dog if he doesn't get them going. This dude's like a savant when it comes to this stuff. It's magical to watch him work. He just has a knack. And so getting things unstuck and seeing what made him stuck and doing that, it's always kind of interested me. I just really haven't had the time. But I might make an exception with this. So I'm going to go back tomorrow, look at it. If I think I can make my money regardless back with it, I'll probably do it. Now, if it was a short bed, we wouldn't even be arguing with it. But it's a long bed. I'm a little worried about the fuel in the tank, but tanks are cheap. So I'll just have to cross that bridge when I get to it. Facebook Marketplace is not a bad place. It's a place full of bad people. And you're going to find that everywhere. There are scams. There are just all sorts of horrible things. This guy was hoping for a quick flip. He just wanted to flip junk. And he was a dishonest used car salesman. End of story. I'll call him dishonest because it was not represented. You know, he didn't represent it at all, really. He just had a really crappy Facebook ad and really nasty. Price is firm. I was like, you know what? It's a 69. If it looked like it did in the pictures and fired up and drove around the block, you know what? I probably would have paid him for it. I'm looking for a 69 Chevy. I like that body style. But at the same token, I'm not going to allow myself to be taken by some schmuck. There's a lot of good used car dealers out there. In fact, we talked to one of them today. We were looking at a Charger. Guy was straight up. And he was offering all sorts of stuff. Was looking at a 19, really nice Hemi all-wheel drive police car. Beautiful car. It was a detective's car. I know it had to be. There's no holes punched in it. There's no... the interior's all perfect. I mean, there's never been a cage in it. I think it was probably a supervisor's car, a detective's car, or a city car, actually. So I'm not sure what it was, but it lived a very nice life. 90,000 miles on it. Nice car. Had a salvage title, but he wanted too much money for it. What he wanted for that with a salvage title, I get one year newer for about 3,000 to 5,000 less. Same car. So I told him I was making a cash deal. Truthfully, they want to finance because that's how they make their money, and I get it. These buy here, pay here lots. That's how they make their money. They'll sell the same car 2 or 3 times, and that car's paid for by the time it finally leaves the lot for good. So I'm not mad at him for that. I thought the price of the car was a little high, but truthfully, I would have been in that car for about 17 to 18, but he was talking at least 20. I was like, no. But that being said, guys, do your homework when you come out here, especially on Marketplace. Some of the best deals are just things sitting on the side of the road. Be very familiar with what you want. Be very familiar with what you're looking at. And do your homework. And if you can't go out and look at it, especially some of the higher end cars, there's a company out there called Lemon Squad. They are all over the country. You can hire them. They will come out. They'll take pictures. They'll take photos. They'll do. I'm not endorsing them, but I highly recommend using a service. Or if you got a friend that lives close by who's into cars, have him go out and look at it, or her. Facebook Live video. Have a scanner. Check the VIN number on the ECM versus the VIN number on the car. Corvettes are bad. They're stealing still. There's a lot of theft out there. But go out there and put your hands on it. If I hadn't gone out there and put my hands on this car, I would have never known how horribly, truly awful it was. And this is the kind of car that's really going to hurt somebody. This at 69. That's going to be somebody's dream truck, and they're going to get their dream destroyed because some schmuck was just looking to screw somebody. So, you guys that are looking for your dream trucks like that, be a little patient. They're out there, and the deals are out there, and let the deal come to you. Because if you get too impatient and get too greedy, or you get too wanting it too bad, which I get, you set yourself up to be screwed by schmucks like this guy. And so protect yourself. So I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Just a little journey out today. We looked at a few cars, looked at a few trucks, but this was the one that I thought I'd just write a warning piece about. So watch yourself, guys. Keep yourself straight. We'll see you next video.
Baby, read the fine print. I've got baggage and it's all Gucci. Don't get too attached to me. Everybody act like the answer. One love like in the movies. Wasting precious time assuming. Oh, were we made to fall?